Hello, my name's Carl Bown, and you may know me from the Tesla Model 3 owners group on Facebook. I'm quite active on there, and I'm lucky enough to be one of the first owners in the UK of the Tesla Model 3. Now, a little bit of background: I've had a Nissan Leaf before and an Audi A3 e-tron plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. The Leaf, absolutely fantastic, had it for 3 years, loved it, perfect for short journeys. You wouldn't want to really even go as far as the next town in it though. The e-tron, brilliant car. If you can only have one car, you don't have another car for long journeys, you know, it was fantastic. I don't think that's as necessary anymore when you've got things like the Tesla, but another great car, hatchback, very practical. So I decided to buy a Tesla Model 3. I saw the reservation. I'd wanted a Tesla for a while, thought about a Model S. Never quite justify it. It seemed a bit big for what I needed. There's two of us at home now, and quite expensive, and I was really looking forward to them releasing some smaller models. So when they announced the Tesla Model 3, I straight on the reservation list. First night, I actually got up in the middle of the night and put my reservation down. Pretty unnecessary, really, I think, bearing in mind what's happened since then. But I've been excitedly waiting for it to come. When they released it in the UK, they sent me a message saying it was available. I looked online and I looked at the finance offers, and to be honest, it looked a bit expensive. It wasn't as cheap as I was hoping it was going to be. We have a couple of other cars, and I was like, really, shall I bother? Went on lease plan. They didn't have any rates, so asked them to call me back, which surprising they did. They called me back on the day they got the new rates, and the new rates were so good that I really could not justify not getting one. I know it sounds silly, you can always justify not getting a 40 grand motor car, but I decided to get one anyway. So ordered it on the 28th of May, and I was thinking, well, I'm not quite sure when it's going to come, you know, it could be a few weeks, certainly months, possibly. Went on the Tesla website and said, you know, sent them a message saying, could you just give me some idea when this is going to come? Because I wanted to sell one of my other cars while I was, you know, just at the right time. Anyway, message back the same day saying, you're getting your car on the 20th of June, which was at that point 9 days away. So I must have done it on the 19th of June. And I was like, wow, didn't really expect it to be so fast. There was a bit of confusion because they seemed to think I wanted to go and pick it up in London. Actually, I said I'd want to go pick it up in Leeds, but I think part of that was Lease Plan's fault because Lease Plan didn't know I wanted to pick it up in Leeds. But went up to Leeds. My brother gave me a lift up there. He's also planning to buy a Tesla Model 3. Went to Leeds. Great, really nice place. Small, but, you know, smart. The staff were really nice. Two cars being released at the same time. There was a guy picking up a Model S, and we had a little chat, and his wife said, well, he'd said to him that the Model 3 looked nice, but she really needed a hatchback, which I agreed with, you know, hatchback would have been preferable. But yeah, picked up the Model 3, showed me basic stuff, what I needed to know, and then I was off. Drove the 80 miles back to Lincoln. Smooth, comfortable, just sat at 70, you know, just trying to be careful and work everything out and not get distracted too much. But really, really pleased with it. The very next day, I think the same day, in fact, I gave a few people test drives. I had people coming over from a fair distance for test drives, so I think I gave 4 people test drives the first day. Saturday, I had someone else come over, and then Sunday, I was going down to London. We're going to the baseball. My son lives in London, so we were meeting up. So I drove it to Epping Station, which was a bit of a trek because I was going down the M11 and there was a massive accident, and I was literally sat in a queue for an hour. I mean, nice place to be sat in a queue. Played some of the computer games, the video games, but not ideal. Anyway, went down. Before I got to Epping Station, I stopped at Birchanger Services, found the Tesla charging point, the supercharger, went in, plugged in, went in to use the loo because I've been sat in the, you know, I needed the toilet. I've been sat in the car for hours. Got 12 miles, I think, of charge, not very much. Ran straight back out again and then parked at Epping Station, no problems. On the way back, stopped at Birchanger, again on the way north, plugged in, went to get something to eat. By the time I'd ordered my food, I had a message from the supercharger from the car saying, "You've got enough to get home now. Come and pick your car up whenever you're ready." And I was like, well, I hadn't even sat down with my food at this point. I'd literally just ordered it. So I was like, this is fantastic. Got home. Great journey. More problems on the way home. They closed the junction that I normally leave the A1 at. So I ended up going a bit faster than I would have done because I was a bit annoyed at this point and had to go further up the A1, turn around and come back and leave the motorway, leave the A1 at the other side of the road. But anyway, absolutely fine. May have got caught by a speed camera, but it's over 2 weeks now and I've not heard anything, so fingers crossed. Anyway, the next day, so Friday I picked it up, Saturday had a test drive. Sunday, gone to London. Monday, we were going off to Lowestoft. Now, we have a holiday home in Lowestoft. It's about 130 odd miles from Lincoln to Lowestoft. And really, if you wanted to own an electric car, you couldn't pick two worse places in the country than Lincolnshire and Suffolk. Electric vehicles are pretty much an unknown in these areas. They're very large, sparsely populated. Obviously, I've got a charger at home. I've had a couple of electric cars before, so I'd already got chargers. And did the route on abetterrouteplanner.com, and it said, stop at Thetford if you want. It said you can get there and back there and then charge a bit before you come back. But we thought, well, we always stop on the way anyway because anything more than 2 hours is too much for me. Went to Thetford, the Elvedon supercharger, absolutely superb. Again, plugged in, a couple of other cars there. Went in. By the time my food arrived, it had said it was ready. Went to Lowestoft. There's no charging at my holiday home. It's a bit away from the car park, so we've got a sort of little bungalow on a lake. So I had a drive around the next day. I had a little drive around Lowestoft looking for chargers. Found there's an Instavolt one at Bantine's Health Club. That was 35 pence a kilowatt hour, so not cheap. However, incredibly convenient. You walk up, you wave your contactless credit card at it, you plug in and you charge. And you can have as much as you want, obviously. And there was a leaf there when I got there, and I did use it again before I came home just to, stick a few more miles in. And there was nobody there that time. So absolutely superb. I, have no complaints about the charging, and I have no longer have range anxiety. I think the other thing that really got me was the fuel economy. Now, going down from Lincoln to Lowestoft, you're mostly on single carriageway A roads. So it really should be ideal, but I was getting nearly 5 miles. I mean, like 203 kilowatt hours per mile, 203 watt hours per mile, not kilowatt hours per mile, that'd be terrible. Which is pretty much 5 miles per kilowatt hour. That's far more than I expected. I was expecting on a sort of reasonable run like that to be getting about 4 miles, so really, really pleased. And one thing I found out, even doing a few demonstrations and maybe putting it in standard mode to show people just how fast it can go. Really, really happy with the economy. I can't see any problems with it at all in terms of the economy. It's much better than I thought. And looking at the reviews of other electric vehicles that other major manufacturers have released, the Tesla has got to be so much better than all those. They seem very inefficient in comparison. Tesla's had years of experience, so I'd expect them to be better. So, what do I like about it? It's smooth, it's nice, comfortable car, the seats are really nice, the interior's very smart. I say it's got a sort of Scandinavian minimalist look to it. People, not everybody I would think will get on with the fact that there's just the big screen and very few other buttons, but to me it seems brilliant. Big map, big rear camera, you've got a big screen to show your rear camera on, everything's in one place, so really pleased with that. I say it's comfortable, it's smooth, it can get a little bit jittery over broken surfaces, so if the roads aren't perfect you might get a little bit of bouncing at lower speeds. The economy, like I say, another thing I really like about it, and as soon as I got to Lowestoft I was like, wow, if I'm going to get this sort of economy I'm never going to have any worries about range anxiety. Lots of room in the boot. It's a saloon, obviously. It's almost exactly the same size as a BMW 3 Series, Mercedes C-Class, Audi A4. and they've all got big boots. This has got a big boot. The underfloor section in the boot was absolutely enormous. I could actually get two cases in that, two small cases in that, which really surprised me. So I didn't even need to, because the normal boot is so big that when we came back I didn't even bother putting stuff in there. The front boot, I've used it so far, I've just put the charging equipment in, but yeah, really pleased with it. I can't think of it that much wrong with it, apart from one or two little dislikes. First thing is, over 70 mile an hour, I would say you're getting a fair amount of wind noise. Now, it might be just that I'm hearing the wind noise because it's an electric car. Obviously, electric cars are generally quieter, so you tend to pick up road noise and wind noise more. I think there is a kit available that you can buy on eBay if you want to reduce the wind noise. You can get like a little sealant that goes around it. I don't know whether I'd bother. I've got it on a lease for 2 years, so when it goes back, I'm probably going to be getting another one. So I might just wait and see. The other thing is, one of the big vaunted things about Tesla is Autopilot, Navigate and Autopilot, full self-drive. Now, I haven't got the full self-driving capability because it's a lease, and the full self-driving capability was going to add probably another 200 quid a month, just when I'm only paying 350 quid a month anyway, including VAT. Adding another £200 a month for it seems ridiculous. But it's just the standard cruise control is not very good. Brilliant if you're on A roads, brilliant if you're on a multi-carriageway road like a motorway or the dual carriageway, something like that, with 2 lanes either side. You cannot drive down an urban street in it. It will just stop every few feet as soon as it sees a car parked on the left hand side. So if you're looking at the moment and thinking of getting one, really, unless you're going to keep in it for a long time, don't bother with the full self-driving. If you're getting it for a 2 or 3 year lease especially, just don't do it. It's just not worth it. If you're buying it and you're thinking you're going to keep it 10 years, well, it might be worthwhile, but unless it vastly improves in the next few years, I can't see it being worthwhile for anybody. Do I really want to be able to summon it out of a car parking space? Well, if I can't get out of the car when I park, then it's not much use anyway. Maybe if I lived in America and the roads were huge and I could do that, but for me, it's just impractical. My wife's car, she's got a Seat Arona, which has got automatic cruise control. It keeps the distance from the car ahead, just like the Tesla does. I don't think it does lane centering, which the Tesla is very good at, but it actually will drive down the road with cars parked at the side without braking, or at least lifting off every few hundred metres or less. So, to be honest, I don't think it was particularly practical. So, rounding it up, everything about it, absolutely delighted with it. It does everything I wanted to. One of the dislike maybe is I would have preferred a hatchback, but I'm already looking like in 2 years that hopefully the Model Y will be available. If you are looking for a 40 grand car, then there is absolutely no reason that I can see not to get a Tesla Model 3 unless you need a hatchback or an estate. Its fuel economy is fantastic. It's the fifth of the price of a competitive car. If you look at something like a BMW 340, which probably has similar performance, it's so much cheaper to run. It's about the same price to pay and so much cheaper to run. If you're a business user, it makes an even more fantastic deal, because from April 2020, the benefit in kind is going to be 0%. So really, if they don't sell these by the bucket load, then people are just badly informed. That's really all I can say. If you don't need a hatchback, you don't need an estate, get a Tesla Model 3. I think you will be very happy with it, and I think you'll find it immensely practical car to run. Okay, I'm going to stick my referral code in the text underneath. I'll stick it in the comments on YouTube as well. I've already had one referral, which was really nice. A guy gave a test drive to. I don't do it for that, but if you're getting 1,000 miles and I'm getting 1,000 miles, I'm not going to complain. If you're in the Lincoln area and you want to ride in one, you've either ordered one and you can't wait, or you haven't ordered one, you're thinking about getting one, just hook me up on Facebook, and I'm quite happy to give you a ride. it's really exciting. I'll put it in standard mode, you can see just how fast it is. To be honest, in chill mode, everybody thinks, oh, it's quite sprightly. Then you put it in standard mode, and then they're like, wow. So what the performance, because mine's just an SR Plus, what the performance must be like, who knows? I mean, I know people do know, but yeah, incredible. Okay, thanks for watching. Give us a like if you've enjoyed it, but if you haven't enjoyed it or you don't care about it, it doesn't really make any difference to me. All right, thanks very much. Bye.